Welcome back to another transfer video for Manchester United. Now there's been, in the last few days, there's been a bit more on Manchester United, because before there hasn't really been anything too concrete besides Jadon Sancho. Now in the last few days it does look like the Jadon Sancho deal is coming to an end and that Manchester United will get the man. I'll now be shocked if this transfer doesn't happen for Manchester United. It's looking a lot more concrete now. All the top journalists are coming out saying that the deal is very close to being done. Fabrizio Romano is pretty much saying that it is only a matter of time. I think a few others are as well, so it's pretty much the same stuff has been regurgitated time and time again by a lot of journalists, and that has led, now that this deal is done, it's led to Manchester United being more talked about in other transfers. Now we do know that Manchester United want the centre half and ideally a midfielder, but the midfielder hasn't really been talked about too much. Varane keeps coming up, and we'll talk about Varane first because the Jadon Sancho deal looks like it's going to be done, so that's good. Get that out of the way, and then we've got the centre half issue for Manchester United. Now the Varane deal, to me, I'm not convinced that Varane will come to Manchester United. The reports are that he wants 400 grand a week, and the reports are a transfer fee of around 45 to 50 million. Now, Jesus fucking Christ, if Manchester United could pull off a deal for Varane for that sort of money, that would be fucking top quality in my eyes. I mean, he's won the World Cup, he's won 4 Champions Leagues, he's won the Liga, he's won everything fucking pretty much in the game. And when you're looking at Ben White potentially going to Arsenal for around 15 million, you've got to be thinking that we'd be crazy not to try and get this geezer in for Manchester United. But there is the stumbling block of the fact that I feel that he is trying to get a new contract, a better deal at Real Madrid. I cannot see Real Madrid letting Sergio Ramos and Rafael Varane both leave in the same transfer window. Now it is reported that Real Madrid are skint and do want the money to buy either Mbappe or Haaland over the next 12 months, but even if they get Haaland and Mbappe, if they let both Sergio Ramos and obviously Rafael Varane leave, their defence is going to be a bit shite, to be honest. And I'm not too sure if they've got anything up their sleeve to bring in, but centre half is a massive problem in the world at the moment. There isn't more than 3 or 4 world-class centre halves out there, in my opinion, at this moment in time, and we've had to spend £80 million previous on Harry Maguire, who I still don't think is actually world class. I think he's very decent and has improved Manchester United in terms of their centre back positions. But you're looking at him costing 80 million, I'm not sure he is the top. He's nowhere near a Rolls Royce like Rio Ferdinand, Nemanja Vidic, these sort of type of players. He's nowhere near at that level. And with no disrespect to him, because it's a job to get players of that ilk. But 80 million we had to pay for Harry Maguire for that type of player. So if you can get a geezer in for 45, 50 million, who, if he doesn't sign his new contract, they've really got to sell him because he's only got 12 months left on his deal. So I don't think he's going to come to Manchester United. I think if I was rating this, I'd rate it out about 2 out of 10. I don't think this is going to happen. And it is Pau Torres seems to be the next one on the lips if Manchester United can't get this deal done. And I don't know, maybe Pau Torres will be the man. We will have to wait and see. He's a very young, promising centre half, but Rafa Varane would definitely ideally be the one. When I was making the ideal starting lineup for next season, I didn't put Rafa Varane there because I just don't see Rafa Varane as being a realistic signing for Manchester United. But there has been a lot more talk in the last few days about this potential deal, so we will have to wait and see what happens with Rafa Varane. But I'm not putting my hopes up for this one. But if Manchester United could get him, it would be a great summer transfer window. So far, with Jadon Sancho and Rafael Varane coming in, that would be absolutely fucking quality for Manchester United. But the one on everyone's lips today is Camavinga. This transfer from Rennes to Manchester United for the Frenchman would be a good signing for Manchester United. It really would. A young, exciting midfield player for Manchester United to come in. Yes, I do know that Manchester United really would, ideally as fans, we want ready-made players that are going to go in and turn Manchester United into the finished article for next season. But there was reports that Camavinga could come to Manchester United before, that Manchester United were looking at a younger type of midfield player. Now, I've never been the biggest fan of Fred, we know that, but apparently Fred has done very well over in the Copa America for Brazil so far this tournament. We've also got other midfield options in Pogba, Fernandes, Scott McTominay, so we do have some options in midfield, but a lot of people don't want to see Manchester United going with Fred and McTominay again next season. Now, I think if Camavinga comes to Manchester United, he's going to want to be starting in that midfield in place of Fred or McTominay. And to be honest, I think this could be a good signing, because for now even maybe, because I think he's probably going to come in and take one of their places over the next few months if he comes in. But my only fear is at the start of his reign it might be a bit of an Ahmad signing where he takes a while to come in and isn't given the opportunity straight from the off. But with players like Fred being away on international duty at the moment, obviously Scott McTominay's been away. If he was to sign in the next couple of weeks, he could come in the pre-season at some point in time and hopefully bed in and get some game time before the start of the season. But this is a transfer that may not happen very quickly for Manchester United, but it does seem Rennes want to sell the geezer if they can before his contract expires, I think in 12 months time, so they want to recuperate some money. But the reports are that Manchester United are going to talk to Camavinga's people in the next week or so to try and sort of encourage him to come to Manchester United, but PSG seem to be the club that he probably favours staying in France. So Manchester United have got to do all they can to try and convince him to come to Manchester United, but he's been linked also with the likes of, I think, Arsenal and Real Madrid as well. So he is one of the hottest prospect midfielders in Europe. He has scored a great, fantastic goal for France he's played 3 times for the French national team. Hasn't scored a lot of goals for Rennes, but as a midfielder, who gives a shit if you've got Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba pulling the strings, scoring goals, creating more assists? He can just sit in front of them and be more of that number 6 guy for Manchester United. I mean, you look at N'Golo Kante, doesn't score a lot of goals, but what hell of a Rolls-Royce player N'Golo Kante has been for Chelsea and Leicester City. You don't always have to be, you can be that destroyer in number 6 position. You can be more technically gifted. Some more technically gifted players in midfield. You can be, there's a number of different types of midfielders that you can play in a number 6, number 8 position, or wherever we choose to play him. If we do choose to pick him and play him in that number 6 position, we've seen players like the likes of, obviously it become the norm of the Makelele role in that midfield, when Makelele was so good in midfield. Makelele didn't score a lot of goals in his career. He was dog shite at scoring goals, but what a player Claude Makelele was for Chelsea, in that he was a fucking phenomenal player. One player that I really did like for Chelsea, and his goal scoring ability was shit, but a great destroyer in there. They had the likes of Frank Lampard scoring the goals. They had Michael Essien in there as well, who was a Rolls Royce of a player. So you don't always have to have that great technical player in that position. I know sometimes that the likes of Man City have wanted to go with more technically gifted players in them positions, and Spain and teams like that sometimes, but and maybe Barcelona, but you don't always have to have that. And I think he's a very good player. I do. I think that he's got a lot of promise to come. Okay, he's playing in the French Football League, so whether that's the best top league in Europe, that is debatable. Whether it's one of the top, it's probably 3rd or probably 4th on the list of the leagues at this moment in time. But a very, very good player, only 18 years of age. We could hopefully, with 12 months left on his contract, we could hopefully get him for a very good price if he doesn't go to PSG. But at this moment in time, I think he would probably prefer to go there, and probably would go there over Manchester United. So we will have to wait and see on this deal. But if Manchester United could get all 3 of these players in, what a fucking summer that would be. And then I would accept Manchester United going out there and getting Kieran Trippier. I really would. If Manchester United got these 3 players, I would happily accept Kieran Trippier coming in as another player. That would be, I mean, Jesus, that would be a great summer. I would be thinking that Manchester United could potentially challenge for a title with them 3 players if Manchester United could get them. But at this moment in time, it's a long fucking way off Manchester United getting all 3 of them players. It really is. At this moment in time, Sancho deal looks like it is almost in the bag. So I'll be back with another video if and when that does happen for Manchester United. The Varane and Camavinga deals are still in the bag for whether Manchester United can get them done or not. They could potentially go elsewhere. They could potentially come to Manchester United, but both players, if the clubs want to sell them with their contracts running down, then there's not a lot of options of clubs that can fulfil what Manchester United can fulfil, of giving certainly Camavinga Sorry, I couldn't get my words out there. Coming to Manchester United, a young player that gets opportunities at a big club. There's not many clubs that give opportunities, and although Solskjaer could have given more opportunity to some youngsters last year, he does give opportunities. I mean, Greenwood's played a hell of a lot of football for Manchester United. We're seeing the likes of Ahmed gradually coming to the team, Hannibal, Shoretiri, Alanga, so he is giving some youngsters a chance. So that does show to young players coming to Manchester United that we are giving them a chance, and he does want to build a young, hungry squad. And Camavinga can come into Manchester United and be another player in that. We do need another midfield player in there, and these three positions would be three positions that Manchester United really need to strengthen, and we would have then strengthened them, and they're players that would potentially go straight in, all three of them, into that first 11 and make us stronger. In recent years we haven't always done that for Manchester United. We brought a backup left back in Telles last summer. We bought a backup midfield player in Donny van der Beek. We bought a backup striker in Cavani, who's actually ended up becoming first choice. So we've bought a lot of backup players over recent times. Fred wasn't really the first choice and made Manchester United, in my opinion, any better than we were. So this time around, these players could potentially be players that come in. We've got to get these players in that come in and be first choice ready. So it is a bit debatable whether Camavinga can come into Manchester United and be that stellar name in the first 11 from the start of next season, but a good pre-season could help that. And as I say, with McTominay and Fred, probably good choices as backup players. But if you've got a midfield three of Camavinga, Pogba, Bruno Fernandes, that is looking a better midfield than we've seen in recent years. It really would be. And I think that Solskjaer, maybe if we bring him in, would be more inclined to use Bruno Fernandes and Pogba as a midfield two alongside him, rather than when Manchester United have not played Pogba and Fernandes in that midfield too, because he doesn't trust Fred and Scott McTominay in that midfield with them. So it may give them the licence to go forward a bit more, be a bit more expansive, and be a lot better next season. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on this potential transfer for Manchester United. This does look like a transfer we were looking to move forward on once the Jadon Sancho deal is finally completed. I don't know why Manchester United can't work on more than one deal at the same time. It baffles me that we haven't been able to do that in recent times. But if we could get these three transfers done, we need to get transfers done before the pre-season so that some of these players can play in the pre-season games, because we're not flying off this time. We're just playing them in England. They could be ready for, some of them could be potentially ready if we sign them for them. Obviously Varane and Jadon Sancho wouldn't be, but other potentials may be, and even England may be knocked out early in this competition. Sancho would then have a couple of weeks off and then still come back and be ready for maybe the last couple of games of pre-season. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below on the Camavinga deal. Can Manchester United get this signing done? Can we get Varane done and the Jadon Sancho? Let me know your thoughts in that comment section below. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new around here, and share the video if you're watching it on Facebook, and I'll talk to you all again soon. See ya.